Chapter 1. Just a Legend. Paris, in the mid-19th century, was a city teeming with secrets, its cobblestone streets echoing with the whispers of history. Edmond, a young detective, had recently ventured into the world of sleuthing, a lifelong dream finally realized. As a child, he had nurtured an insatiable thirst for truth, driven by the enigmatic allure of the legends that shrouded the City of Lights. His yearning had led him to explore the hidden corners of Paris, delving into its depths with the fervor of a true adventurer. Even in his youth, Edmond was a relentless seeker of the mysterious and uncharted. He journeyed through the city's intricate labyrinth, plumbing its catacombs, uncovering the stories whispered by the aged stones, and slipping into abandoned buildings, which seemed to reverberate with the forgotten echoes of a bygone era. These were places that legend claimed to be haunted, where the past intertwined with the present, and where secrets slept undisturbed for centuries. Edmond tried to coax his friends into accompanying him on his daring escapades, spinning tales of grandeur and adventure that only Paris could provide. His stories stirred their passions, igniting their curiosity, but few possessed the courage to follow him into the dark, foreboding realms that beckoned. For Edmond, however, these were not mere stories. They were a tantalizing glimpse into the hidden tapestry of the city he loved. The allure of these enigmatic places was irresistible, and it was only natural that Edmond would eventually carve his path as a detective, opening the doors to the very secrets that had captivated him since childhood. With a heart that beat to the rhythm of Paris itself, he embraced this new profession with fervor and determination. Yet Edmond soon realized that the daily life of a detective was a far cry from the swashbuckling adventures he had always dreamt of. The routine was often tedious, and the cases, though important, rarely lived up to the legends and mysteries of the city. Instead of chasing specters through the catacombs or solving riddles in abandoned buildings, he found himself entangled in paperwork and stakeouts. As Edmond navigated the streets of Paris, the City of Lights whispered its secrets to him in a different way. The winding alleys, the grand boulevards, and the charming cafes held their own mysteries, waiting to be unraveled. His journey had only just begun, and in the company of the aging detective Villefort, whose retirement loomed on the horizon, Edmond was about to uncover a web of secrets that would test not only his investigative skills but also his unwavering determination. In the heart of Paris, a story was unfurling, and the young detective was determined to make it a legend in its own right. Edmond's path as a detective took an unexpected turn when he found himself approached by Villefort, a seasoned detective nearing the twilight of his career. The elder detective's experience was etched into the lines on his face, a map of the secrets he'd uncovered in the labyrinthine streets of Paris. One day, as the sun cast long shadows across the cobbled alleys, Edmond decided to broach a subject that had been simmering in his mind, a proposal that could potentially rewrite history. The legend of the masked prisoner had endured for nearly half a century, and it had always fascinated him. This mysterious figure, hidden from the world's gaze, had captured the imaginations of many, and Edmond believed the time was ripe to unearth the truth behind the myth. As he shared his daring plan with Villefort, the older detective let out a hearty laugh, a deep rumble of amusement that echoed through the room. The legend of the masked prisoner had become a tapestry of half-truths, whispers, and fading memories over the decades. Villefort acknowledged that influential and reputable individuals had, in hushed tones, confessed to having glimpsed the enigmatic prisoner, but that didn't necessarily confirm the legend's veracity. Villefort, with a wisdom honed over his long career, explained that legends often thrived on a blend of fact and fiction, and the masked prisoner was no exception. It might have roots in reality, but it was also likely composed of disparate elements, woven together by time and imagination. What intrigued him more was the fact that this legend had persisted for half a century, a testament to the formidable forces behind its veiled existence. Powerful figures, he noted, were invested in maintaining the story's secrecy. Edmond, undeterred by Villefort's skepticism, argued passionately. He pointed out that the times had changed, and the people of Paris were thirsty for the truth. Furthermore, he highlighted the fact that Villefort's career, though long, lacked any remarkable success. Ending it with the revelation of the masked prisoner's identity could transform him into a legend, the detective who unlocked the city's greatest enigma. For Edmond, this mission promised to be the crowning achievement that would set the course for his own career. Villefort, swayed by Edmond's fervor and the promise of leaving an indelible mark on history, finally relented. He had little left to lose in the twilight of his career, and this undertaking presented a chance for redemption. The condition he laid down, however, was crucial. Their investigation had to remain secret, a shadowy endeavor undertaken beyond the purview of official missions. The risks of their endeavors were too great, and they couldn't afford to attract the attention of those who had guarded the legend's secrets for so long. With a firm handshake, their pact was sealed, and thus began a thrilling and clandestine odyssey. Together, the two detectives embarked on a journey that would lead them deep into the heart of the most secret and mysterious corners of 19th-century Paris, a world where legends and reality danced in the dim light of concealed truths. Chapter 2: Searching in the Catacombs. In the mid-19th century, the streets of Paris unfurled like a tapestry of history, each cobblestone bearing witness to the echoes of revolution and rebirth. This city was a place where past and present intertwined in a seamless dance, a living testament to the enduring spirit of human endeavor. The French capital had been through the throes of change, emerging from the shadow of revolutions and the pomp of empire to become a city of captivating paradoxes. Amidst the labyrinthine streets, an observer would find themselves in a world both glorious and gritty, where the elegant boulevards of Haussmann's urban planning met the romantic allure of narrow, winding alleys that dated back centuries. The Paris of Edmond and Villefort was a city of contrasts, where grandiosity coexisted with the gritty reality of everyday life. Picture the wide avenues, such as the majestic Champs-Élysées, adorned with gas lamps that cast a warm, enchanting glow on the evening promenades, and the Place de la Concorde, where the towering obelisks stood as a testament to French imperial glory. As dusk fell, horse-drawn carriages traversed the cobblestones, and dapper gentlemen and elegant ladies strolled along the boulevards, their silk garments rustling in the gentle breeze. The Opéra Garnier, a marvel of opulent architecture, drew crowds with its performances, while the Louvre, a treasure trove of art, beckoned art enthusiasts from across the world. Yet, the same Paris bore the weight of a history scarred by revolutions, most notably the 1830 July Revolution and the 1848 February Revolution. The narrow streets of the Marais whispered tales of barricades, of the passionate struggles for liberty that had unfolded. These alleys, once awash with barricades and rebellion, now hid the secrets of a city that had experienced the tumultuous birth of a republic. In the midst of this intriguing backdrop, the Seine River wove its way through the heart of the city, with its iconic bridges, including the Pont Neuf, connecting the left and right banks. The riverbanks were a realm of their own, bustling with activity as fishermen cast their lines and booksellers lined the quays, hawking volumes of poetry and philosophy. As the mid-19th century Parisians navigated the intricate web of streets, the city was undergoing a metamorphosis, a juxtaposition of tradition and modernity, of grandeur and grit. The City of Lights was poised on the precipice of change, awaiting the arrival of two detectives, Edmond and Villefort, who would, unbeknownst to them, delve into its deepest secrets, exploring the concealed histories that lurked in its every corner. The prison they sought was La Roquette, an imposing edifice located in the heart of the bustling city, just a stone's throw from the labyrinthine streets and boulevards of mid-19th century Paris. La Roquette stood as a grim testament to the era, a place where the darkest corners of society were locked away from the world. Its foreboding stone walls soared into the sky, their intimidating presence casting a perpetual shadow over the bustling city streets. It was a repository of despair, where the wretched and the condemned languished in cold, dimly lit cells. Inside the prison, the air was heavy with the weight of time and suffering. Damp, echoing corridors led to the confined cells where inmates lived in isolation. The masked prisoner, a figure shrouded in mystery, was said to have been held within these unforgiving walls for decades, a legend whispered among the incarcerated, a puzzle that had intrigued and confounded generations. Beneath La Roquette, the catacombs stretched like a clandestine world of their own, a subterranean labyrinth where the secrets of the masked prisoner were rumored to be hidden. The catacombs were a maze of dimly lit tunnels, hewn from the very stone of the city itself. Torches cast flickering, eerie light, illuminating the passages that wound deeper into the earth. As Edmond and Villefort ventured into the depths of these catacombs, the atmosphere grew colder and the silence heavier. The stone walls bore the scars of time, etchings that told the stories of those who had treaded these subterranean chambers. Patches of dampness clung to the rock, bearing witness to the years of solitude and secrecy that had festered in these underground recesses. The catacombs beneath La Roquette were a riddle waiting to be unraveled, a cryptic world where truth had been buried beneath layers of deception. As they journeyed deeper into this enigmatic realm, the very stones seemed to murmur, offering fragments of the masked prisoner's history and the long-concealed secrets that had been interred with him. Here, beneath La Roquette, Edmond and Villefort were poised to confront the mysteries of the past, unveiling the hidden truths that had eluded Paris for generations. The catacombs held the keys to the legend of the masked prisoner, and within this subterranean world, their journey would take a suspenseful and thrilling turn. Villefort, an experienced detective nearing the twilight of his career, had cultivated vital connections and powerful allies throughout his years of service. These friendships, forged in the crucible of the city's secrets, would prove invaluable to Edmond as they embarked on their clandestine quest. With whispered introductions and unspoken promises, Villefort led Edmond through the labyrinthine underbelly of Paris, where the air grew heavy and the torchlight revealed walls adorned with enigmatic symbols. The further they ventured, the more the atmosphere seemed to take on an eerie resemblance to Dante's Inferno, a world filled with foreboding and torment. Finally, they arrived at their destination, a place where shadows clung to every corner, and the walls bore the weight of unspoken suffering. Here, in the dimly lit catacombs beneath La Roquette, they had an appointment with a guard who owed Villefort a few long-standing favors. This trusted ally revealed a chilling revelation, a prisoner who had been claiming to be the masked prisoner for years. This enigmatic inmate was a man obsessed, meticulously tracing his family tree in intricate detail, as if it were the very thread of his existence. The guard described the prisoner's relentless determination to prove his lineage, his identity entwined with the legend of the masked prisoner. Villefort and Edmond listened intently, their curiosity piqued. Escorted through the labyrinthine passages, they finally reached the man's cell. Inside, they found a figure shrouded in velvet, the mask obscuring his features, as the legend had foretold. They addressed him, inquiring, "Who are you?" His response was immediate and unwavering. "I am the masked prisoner," he declared. With fervor, the man unraveled a tale of injustice, recounting his lineage in exquisite detail and the reasons behind his purported unjust imprisonment. His story unfurled like an epic saga, with each word echoing through the dark confines of the cell. After a considerable conversation, Edmond and Villefort exchanged glances. Doubt clouded their expressions, and their skepticism grew. As the man continued to scream and rail against his captivity, Edmond turned to Villefort, questioning the authenticity of the claim. Villefort's seasoned gaze held a wealth of knowledge. "He cannot be the real one," he declared with conviction. "A velvet mask is too easily donned and doffed. Moreover, he is too young to be the genuine masked prisoner. He may have reached 30 at the most, but no older. Undoubtedly, he has fabricated this tale." Their encounter in the dim catacombs had yielded intrigue but not revelation. The legend of the masked prisoner remained elusive, veiled by yet another layer of uncertainty. Edmond and Villefort exited the cell, leaving the man behind in his echoing cries, as they continued their quest to unravel the enigma that had eluded Paris for decades.